We're going to be talking about the hormone reboot. What happens when you shift from summer to fall? If you've been feeling extra drained, anxious, or your cycle, ladies, feels a little off right now, you're not imagining it. We're going to be talking about hormonal changes that are triggered by seasonal shifts. You're not imagining it. How cortisol and adrenal health affect everything. And we have some specific support strategies for women in their 30s and 50s in particular. And we're going to be talking about all of that right after this. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. I'm your host, Scott Patton. Joining us, as usual, is health engineer, health coach, Martin Patella. Hey, Martin, how are you doing today?
Hey, it's a good life. Thank you for asking.
All right. George, good to see you again. And everybody else that's joining us, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, save it, share it. It really helps, particularly if you like what we're talking about. Get the word out. Be progressive, active, like not passive. You can just sit there and listen, and maybe eventually something will change, or you can take some action. And the first step in action taking is sharing this and getting the message out, as far as I'm concerned. So,
and we need it.
And we need it. Yeah.
You did for us.
We need 5,000 Georges.
Be a team player.
Be a team player. That's right. All right. So what happens when the summer is over and it's back to school? The days are starting to get shorter. So there's a lot of things going on.
In the Northern Hemisphere, anyway, you escaped it.
The days are getting longer in South Africa, I'll tell you that. I'm here another month.
Okay,
so,
sweet.
It's warming up.
All right. Well, so your body definitely starts to prepare for winter, and it's that the weather shifts, and I can feel it in my bones too. However, right, seasonal eating. It's a bizarre thing, but we are actually meant to be doing seasonal eating. We are meant to be eating fatty foods in the cold days and fruity foods in the hot days. And so we were eating berries first part, then cherries. Now we're into peaches.
Yeah, and apples soon.
Apples coming soon, right? Apples usually, well, the early apples are on now, but
it's usually
I started my annual watermelon bout.
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing. Watermelon flushes out your kidneys. So if you want a cleanse, give yourself a month or so on a lot of watermelon.
But that's a summer thing, right? Like if you're getting
what I mean.
If you're getting to the fall and the winter, the harvest time, that may not be the best time to do it.
Well, no, it's time to do it now in the Northern Hemisphere. Right?
I love watermelon.
In Australia, forget about it.
Right. So yeah. I know when I lived in Winnipeg, we would have -40 winters. And when not this time, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I would start feeling, it was like my blood was getting thicker.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and I'd start feeling like, winter's around the corner, and there was this change. And then in the spring, I'd be out and, oh, this is great. We can run in the fields. And I'd be just like puffing and puffing. And it felt like my blood was thick and it just wasn't flowing smoothly through the vein.
Yeah, it's that sensation. Yeah, I think it's known as sluggish.
Sluggish. It's very sluggish.
All right.
So let's talk a little bit about daylight changes, because that really has an impact on people that nobody really talks about a lot.
Yeah, completely. You know what's interesting? There have been some experiments done with people living in caves, and when you put people in caves, they lose track of time because there's no sun rising and sun setting. And interestingly enough, they somehow get onto the lunar cycle, and their days are getting longer. And I mean, one big thing that happens, of course, is that when bright blue light hits you, it puts you into the daytime mode rather than to the nighttime mode. And that's this autonomic nervous system. We talk about the parasympathetic, the healing, rest, repair, digest, and the sympathetic, the fight or flight, the cortisol driven or cortisone,
Right.
cortisol driven being. And it's all through here. The third eye is right behind here. And truly, if you shine a light on it, you can make changes.
So and you can almost see the light. Like I've done that with my eyes, put a flashlight here, and it's like, oh, wow, I can see. There's a light.
Yeah. But also, because of travel, if you have any jet lag or whatever, you want to get up with the time zone you're in, and you want to hit it with bright blue light.
Okay.
And then, of course, when it's dark, you want to put on a mask. Scott demonstrated his beautiful night hat the other day.
That's right. I had a toque, and it goes down to here. It's perfect.
Just pull it down over the forehead and pull it down over your eyes. That's what you want. But anyway,
yeah.
So the daylight hours are changing. You have less of it.
Yeah. So I saw a really interesting video the other day, and I didn't realize it tied in with our show, but it does. It's a small town in northern Norway, and they have gotten rid of watches. There's no time in this town. So there's no, I'm going to see you at 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow for coffee going on. I don't know how they arrange things, but not half the year, but 3 or 4 months of the year, there's no light, there's no sun. And then for 3 or 4 months of the year, there's no night. So they could be playing, they could be playing basketball on the outdoor field, at 3 a.m. And it was kind of like, you never know what time it is, and you just listen to your body. And of course it's a small town, so it's not like, you can't you can ride your bike to your buddies and go off and do something with them, right?
Yeah, no schedules to maintain. Yep.
Yeah, and there's one bridge onto the island where the town is, and everybody goes and hangs their watch on the bridge. So there's no time, right? It's all light or it's all dark. So just do whatever you want. And the schools are open 24/7, and the teachers show up when they want to show up, and the students show up when they want to show up, and there's always somebody there to teach you something. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we were onto the cortisol, right?
It was just before we get to the cortisol, I just wanted to bring this up. George says, I drink 4 grams of EDTA with humic fulvic minerals for his blood. So
well, okay. I mean, I'm on board with the humic fulvic. We do sell EDTA for people who want it.
What is it?
I'm not a huge fan of it. EDTA is a detoxer. It's a binder. It will bind anything that's positive charge. So it will take the ugly stuff like mercury, lead, cadmium, but it will also take the lighter stuff like calcium and magnesium. It'll demineralize you.
So is it the same as zeolite?
Zeolite will only take the big heavy ones. So I really have a strong preference for zeolite when it comes to heavy metal detoxification. The mainstream has been popularizing and using EDTA. But with using EDTA, you really have to watch your calcium and magnesium levels. Like if you do a lot of EDTA, it'll strip your bones.
Ooh, okay. Well, we don't want that. So we were going to talk now about cortisol.
Right. So the thing is about cortisol and the stress, right? So what happens is when you perceive stress, whatever that may be, whether it's stress from not sleeping enough or from noise or something scared you or light woke you or you're thinking stupid thoughts, it doesn't matter. Your body interprets the external or internal stimuli and responds to it with, is this stressful or not? Do I need to worry or not? The vigilance button.
Right.
And when it goes into the vigilance, that's the fight or flight, fawn or freeze. Well, anyway, once you hit it, the adrenals turn on and up comes cortisol. And what it does, it prepares you for the fight or flight, which means it will flood your peripheries, your muscles, with a bunch of glucose ready to burn energy.
Okay.
Well, if you don't work it off, if you don't walk it off, fight it off, kick it off, jump it off, then now you have excess circulating glucose, and the only path out of there is insulin shows up and through the triglyceride pathway turns it into your belly fat.
Right.
So if you're in a scary world that gets you fired up a lot, you automatically are building body fat.
So I would say that anybody that watches the news or watches action movies or horror movies or horror shows is pretty much constantly in that state.
Right. And anybody who's driving a car in traffic, if you're an aware driver, you're practicing 360 awareness. There's always something scary. Yeah. George is a master of this. He used to do security work. I don't know what he does now, but a good soldier is supremely aware of the whole thing, right? There could be something lurking behind anything. And the ones that are aware are the survivors.
Right.
Well, anyway, so that's the cortisol drive. And so if you raise your cortisol, the only way out is your liver works it off, or you go get the beautiful, ever so loved cortisol ease herbal tincture. Because, like, for example, people who like to be active late into the night, like gamers or students or just people who like to cram late into the night, right? Like you're going full steam, full speed, highly active until, let's pick a time, 11:30 p.m. And then you say, well, let's go to sleep. Nothing happens. You're wide awake. You're buzzed. It's because you have been pushing the cortisol button and you have a whole lot of it circulating.
Right.
And the way to get out of that is to take a hit of cortisol ease and you go to sleep.
And there it is. So we put the link in the comments, and it's in the description too, I believe. And so you can check it out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it a little bit more later in the show. And what about adrenal fatigue?
This is such a strange concept. The adrenals are like a musician who will play his instrument when the conductor says play. And the conductor in this situation is the HPA, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenals.
Okay.
And so the adrenals is like the worker. It'll do what you tell it. The pituitary tells you when and how, and the hypothalamus decides the overall situation. So if you think you have adrenal fatigue, you may have a hypothalamus pituitary dysregulation.
All right. So what would that look like? If how
well,
would
you
you know?
You can't perform. So the number one thing you notice that if you stand up quickly, your adrenals are supposed to kick in and raise the blood pressure so that the blood pressure rises, so you don't start fainting from, I don't know what, not enough blood in your head.
Right. All the blood goes down when the body goes up fast.
Yeah, there's just, yeah.
So if you stand up fast and you're feeling dizzy, then.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of that, you have an adrenal problem. If you can't fire up. And that I would try and first feed it with the Adrenal Ease, which is a herbal tincture that supports greater production of the hormones by the adrenal gland. That would be my first line of defense. And then I would be worrying about the pineal and pituitary and hypothalamus, and that's amino acids and maybe the one called pineal.
The humic acid, pineal humic acid.
It's pineal, and it comes in a bottle like this, and it's the life crystals with pineal, and it's one of those most lovely things. I'm going to take a hit of it right now.
My bottle is in the warm arms of the South African customs agents.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not able to assist.
Hopefully I'll get it this week.
All right.
So one of the things I'm hearing is we should have more rest and relaxation or meditation. Like, so a lot of people can maybe they sit and they don't do anything, but they're not resting because their minds are still going a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
A million miles an hour.
Cortisol level remains high, never settles down. Yeah. PTSD, right? Classic. When you have post-traumatic stress disorder, it means that your perception of the world out there, usually through the amygdala. See, the amygdala is interpreting the sensory inputs, and it's essentially evaluating safe, not safe, safe, not safe. And normally, you should be able to make a quick decision on the input and just say safe, good, let it go. Right. If you go for not safe, you all of a sudden have this stress response. This is a classic for people who get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. They are stressed all the time. They don't even know how to turn it off.
Right.
Yeah, you remember the story of your ex who was tense a lot, right?
Yeah, she held everything in. Her body was so, like, it was rock hard.
Rigid. Yeah.
Rigid. Yeah. Where it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Whereas you are an absolute master of being a cat-like creature. When you shut down, you shut down. It's just like, right? Like, it's just like engine revving down.
Yeah. I go to bed and read for a few minutes, and then I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I keep reading, like, you shouldn't be looking at your iPad before you go to sleep. And I read, 10 pages or whatever, and turn my iPad off and roll over and
right. But you're parasympathetic dominant. For you, that's the natural state of being. You're like a cat.
Yeah. That's right.
So speaking of this, right? The amygdala, that's the stress evaluator and our stress producer. And so if you are being triggered, you need to figure out how to reprogram it, how to learn to engage the parasympathetic. One of the fun tricks is breathing, right? They call it box breathing. They teach it to soldiers, and it's the count to 4, inhale, count to 4, hold, count to 4, exhale, count to 4, hold. So I can't talk and do it to demo it, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 inhalation, 1, 2, 3, 4 do nothing, 1, 2, 3, 4 exhalation, and so on. So that's one. Deep breathing. It's connected to the pH balance, right? Carbon dioxide makes you more acidic. So if you hold your breath, you are slowly becoming more acidic, which will help you come out of feeling depressed.
I learned that box thing with 8, count of 8. And I'll tell you, I do it 4 or 5. When I do it 4 or 5 times, it's like I'm just like in a state of bliss.
Bliss, right?
Yeah, bliss. I just like,
So,
I just totally relax. Everything is fine.
Yeah. In yoga, they teach a mudra, which is actually, I may say it wrong. I think it's a bandha. I don't remember now the words. But anyway, you take your tongue and you roll it backwards and you touch the tip against the soft palate. So you need to roll it far back enough to reach past the hard palate to the soft palate.
Wow.
And
That's
press up and deep breathing. And that's reliable. Engage parasympathetic. Somnambulant, Scott. He's not somnambulant. He's just a relaxed dude.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's move on to, I think we should move on to setting the rhythm. Like how can we reset the hormones when we have these seasonal changes? For example, getting up in the morning, making sure that you go see the sun, going to bed at the same time every day. With some people reducing screen time after 9 o'clock so that
that's the sleep hygiene, right? Like being regular, if you are having trouble with sleep, you want to establish a routine that you wake up at the same time and go to sleep at the same time is always helpful. It'll be better, because some people, if they miss the sleep window and stay awake, they're done for the night.
I have not had that happen to me. It has happened to me, but I haven't had that happen to me in a long, like 6 months to a year. Maybe it was the last time, and then it would be another 6 months to a year. Like I have the odd night where it's just like 2 a.m. and just wide awake. But it's so rare.
What should be noted is that there are these alkaline acidic tides, and the most acidic moment we have is around 2 a.m. and that's the wakefulness. So if you wake up at around 2 a.m., it will be challenging to go back to sleep unless you find a tool to alkalize yourself.
Right.
So if
in my
you
case,
are
awake, sliced bread.
Yeah, for you it's some carb. Yeah. Anyway, so find your antidote and use it.
Right.
That's the ticket.
And then we need to support the adrenals, right? So there's minerals like magnesium, potassium.
Yeah.
Almost potassium. Trace minerals.
Well, it's funny that potassium is richly present in starchy things like potatoes and bananas.
Right.
And bell peppers. Yeah.
And the bell peppers. And then there are adaptogens, right? Like ashwagandha.
Yeah, that's more with the body being able to respond to the stresses of our daily lives, right? Rhodiola, ashwagandha, ginger.
What about coffee? Like people, look at Starbucks or Tim Hortons, right? People line up every day to get their.
Well, caffeine is a stimulant; it'll rev you up. So if you're just tired in the morning and you're just going to whip the horse to run, even if it doesn't want to, right?
Yeah, and so long term, is that a good idea or not?
You answered your own question, didn't you?
Well, but you're the health coach. You need to sort of delve into it in a little more detail than I did.
All right. So watch this. So you have a horse, and the horse needs to spend some time grazing in order to replenish itself. So you can hop on the horse and just tear him away from the grazing and just run him for 2-3 hours. But if you keep doing it, at some point the horse just will lay down and refuse to go.
Right.
Because it needs time to eat the grass and spend some time digesting. Right? That's their job. They're good at running, but not all day long.
Right. So, in your experience as a health coach, Martin, do you see a lot of people who have, these sort of these hormonal problems, and drinking coffee and the stimulant is a
Yeah,
contributing factor?
all too common. To which we say, you have not slept well enough if you need coffee to get you up and going.
Right.
So find a way to sleep better, which you talked about, the better hygiene, the regularity, the deep sleep, the REM sleep, right? All of that needs to happen, which means de-stress. And so the number one tool, I promise you, is that cortisol ease. If you are a stressy person that just isn't letting go, you will let go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
That can
Yeah.
be
The
hard.
hours you sleep before 2 a.m. are golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we've
Let me
only got.
talk about the girly stuff.
Okay, let's talk about the girly stuff.
Why don't you
PMS.
share the document that I have? Any one of you who would like to get it, just contact us. We can email it to you. This is a one page. It's called Hormone Tracker. And the way you use it is you mark 1, 2, or 3 into the boxes, right? Like you put in 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, and or a 0, right? If you have no symptom, then it's a 0. And look at the things that are in there. If your estrogen is high, you'll find that in the box on the right side of the screen. There are 4 things: tender breasts, swollen breasts, nipple tenderness, and fluid retention. Right? That's a classic for women just before a period. Right? So
Right.
if you're over estrogening, that's what it's going to feel like. Of course, when you're getting older, you're going to be getting less and less estrogen, and you'll get your breasts, instead of being perky, they'll turn into pancakes. That's the estrogen deficiency. So here you have, right, uh, over here, droopy breasts. That's your dry skin, thinning skin, loss of a glow, dry eyes, bone density declining, and then the vertical lines around the mouth, the upper lip. And then, of
Yeah.
course, the same thing is happening around the labia, thinning of labia, thinning of the tissues around the vagina, and dryness. Those are all estrogen dysregulation. UTI, urinary tract infection, that could be associated with not enough estrogen. And then depression and brain fog and tiredness, that's also not enough estrogen stuff. Okay, so if you score high on those, you may want to hear that we do have bioidentical hormones available that could improve the situation for you. And here's the other hormone that women circulate, right? Estrogen, progesterone, estrogen, progesterone. Progesterone is the hormone associated with gestation, pregnancy. Estrogen got its name from estrus, the period. So if you have too much progesterone, you'll feel drowsy. But if you have not enough, you'll have difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep. You'll have irritability, anxiety, mood swings, unable to relax. I mean, this is the classic stuff going on with the perimenopause, when the progesterone levels start falling, and they do. That's the stuff that starts happening. Hot flashes and painful swollen breasts and breast lumps, right? Fibrocystic. And then headaches and miscarriage and acne and swollen face. So if you are having those, especially after, well, in your 40s, let's start with that, right? That's the typical woman is finished menstruating somewhere in her 50s. but for many, it starts in mid-40s. So again, we have a topical, what's that word again? Bioidentical hormone preparation. We use hormones produced by Quicksilver Scientific. They're really good. And here's the third one. DHEA is the universal precursor of all of the steroidal hormones. And from DHEA, it goes into testosterone. And from testosterone, it goes either into estrogen or progesterone. So the testosterone is sort of like the early stage of the transformation matrix. So if you overdo testosterone, you start going manly, you'll end up with hair loss on your head, oily skin, aggressiveness, voice changes, and hair growth that you did not expect, like whiskers and whatnot, and acne. Whereas if you find yourself with muscle loss and belly fat and cellulite and varicose veins and unable to or uninterested in orgasms and all of that sexual stuff. And look at that, dry eyes also, and also loss of confidence. That's what happens to old men too, you know. When guys get old and their testosterone level goes down, their skin is drier and they become less confident, less decisive.
And they lose hair.
And they lose hair. All right. So that is also, we have a supplement for that, but that supplement is an oral. It comes in a bottle. And it's awesome. It's
What's it called?
DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone.
Oh, okay. So as you're going through all of this, you may feel a little overwhelmed. And this is a good time to tell people that if you go to www.life-enthusiast.com/appointment, you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation with Martin and discuss some of these issues with him, and he can give you a plan of action.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I took the certification course, so I feel somewhat confident in being able to offer guidance in managing and navigating through this. Guys are simple. It's testosterone on or testosterone off. We have to catch that. And we do have the DHEA, so we can definitely help guys too. Women are a little more complicated. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say about these, the hormonal side?
No, it's an important topic, but we can't overdo it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's talk a little bit about a couple other, you talked about cortisol. Let's talk about magnesium a little bit here.
Well, so magnesium is the most deficient mineral of the modern society. 80% of Americans are deficient, 60% clinically deficient. If you're tense, you are lacking magnesium. You want to supplement it. That is what relaxes you. That is what activates the rest, repair, parasympathetic sleep cycle. And every time you get overly excited, that's driven from calcium and it depletes magnesium. And if you're unable to relax, that's because you don't have enough magnesium on board. So get it.
Get your magnesium. Get your magnesium. Should you be taking it orally or should you be putting it on your skin? Or what's the best way to make sure that it's
when you take it orally, it will activate the peristalsis, the movement of food through your internal systems. So if you're a constipated type, you'll be excited to learn about magnesium. If you're not constipated, then you want to apply it topically because it will bypass the gut. And so we have the topical version of it and rub it on your chest, your belly, your leg, or wherever you want to rub it. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, good. And the other one we wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, you
was,
wanted to talk about the chlorella. No, you wanted to talk about XLR50.
that's right.
Yeah. So what's
Those-
interesting is the XLR50 is a concoction made of many nutrients, and importantly, it's green. Chlorophyll is the most parasympathizing nutrient we have. So you can get it from chlorella and alfalfa and wheatgrass, barley grass, all of that. And so that's richly represented in this green blend. And that's what you want to activate the parasympathetic. Magnesium does it, chlorophyll does it. You can eat a lot of that. And this Exela is formulated to help you relax, repair, rejuvenate, all of that stuff you want to have on board in order to get well.
Perfect. All right. And we'll put that in the comments so everybody can check it out, take a look.
Yeah.
And George says, sounds good. I don't know what I just did.
Sounds good is that chlorophyll helps. George, you just go out there in the meadow and graze.
Right.
You know, anything green, really. You know, lettuce is good. Green leaves, it's all chlorophyll. Algae is rich in chlorophyll.
Yeah. George is laughing and laughing some more.
And more and more.
Two
Yeah. All
comments.
right.
So, any last words before we sign off, Martin?
Summer, I'll miss you. Last words. Yeah, it's. I enjoy the longer daytime hours. It's more cheerful.
Yeah,
So let's enjoy it while we have it.
that's right. Well, and then in 6 months it'll be back.
Yep, that's right.
All right. So next week we're going to be talking about seasonal eating to supercharge your health. So
All
what
right.
can we be eating that's in tune? And this is, of course, getting you prepared because it's early August now. The fall is going to be coming up soon. You're going to be back to school. How do you make sure your kids are looked after and doing the right thing? So George says, thank you. Thank you, George. Appreciate having you here as always. And with that, you've been watching or listening to the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. We're here for you. Make sure you leave any comments, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. But if you've got any questions, leave comments because we do read them all and we can talk about them in an upcoming show. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Martin, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your knowledge. And we'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hey. Hey.